you would think, ABC, having just paid $15 million for a defamation lawsuit, would think not to engage in conspiracy theories about assassination attempts, but I guess that's too much to ask from The View. I mean, I got to ask you, because they said it, are you aware of any plots from Elon Musk to push President Trump down the stairs?
Absolutely not. Let me be unequivocally clear about that.
What happens when Karoline Leavitt rolls out of bed, flips the drama switch, and heads to court like it's her everyday job? It looks like serious trouble for the daytime TV crew. That's right. Karoline is back in the courtroom with a lawsuit so massive it feels like it could be its own city. Could this be the final glittering nail in The View's stylish coffin? Is Joy Behar about to start a side hustle? Maybe selling slightly snarky pillows online just to help cover the damages? Don't blink, because this TV showdown is getting messier than a wine fight at a Real Housewives reunion.
Leavitt appears to be a fierce operator, but she's also 27 and arguably quite glamorous. So of course, the kind and progressive voices at The View reacted to her appointment like this.
I think she's probably been put in there because, according to Donald Trump, she's a 10. You know that's what it is.
Karoline Leavitt just did the unthinkable once again. She stepped straight into the glittery chaos of daytime TV, faced off with the loudest group of professional interrupters on air, and sued the whole segment right out of their studio. Yes, again. Because one courtroom showdown clearly wasn't enough to get The View's producers to stop chasing controversy like it's part of the brand.
And watching this clip, I couldn't help but think how ironic that Whoopi Goldberg and Joy Behar and the rest of the ladies on The View spend their time calling Republicans the conspiracy theorists. But they have been wrong about everything they have said over the last couple of years. They likened President Trump to Hitler. They have mocked him, they have shamed him, they have lied about him consistently on their show.
If this breakdown pulled you in, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe. Now, it turns out Karoline isn't just reacting to liberal media moments. She's basically built a habit of taking things straight to court. With the same determination someone uses to pull their dog out of a muddy puddle, this latest legal move might be the one that really lands. The View isn't just shaken, it's wobbling like an unsteady table at a reality show reunion.
And the abuse continued.
I would like this young lady this is her first job, I would like her to do a little homework. Because she said something yesterday that really pissed me off. And that was, she said, there will be no wokeness here.
Oh, yeah.
Let me explain something to you. Because without that wokeness, you might not have that job.
Yeah.
Because women were not invited to that table. Women were not invited to many tables in this nation. The reason we fought and busted our behinds to make sure that you didn't have to worry about this. And now to hear you talk about it and to hear anybody talk about the wokeness was put in place for a reason.
So what sparked this latest legal swing from Karoline? It seems she'd had enough after once again becoming the daily talking point on The View's endless buffet of outrage. No air quotes needed, we all know the routine. 5 hosts, 2 coffee mugs, and a never-ending supply of polished condescension. But Karoline didn't just scroll past it like most people would. She took it to court. And this time, it's not just a light warning. It's a lawsuit so big it might need its own spot on a satellite map.
I mean, you'll deal with these kind of crazy questions from the White House podium. How do you plan to deal with it?
Yes, I absolutely will. I feel prepared to do that. I've been facing the media now, speaking on behalf of President Trump on the campaign trail for the past couple of years, and we are expecting the media to be hostile. However, Kaylee, if you do talk to a lot of these reporters off the record, they will tell you they look forward to more press transparency and access. And while we will expose the fake news when they are fake, we will hold them accountable for their lies and smears of President Trump. I can also assure the American people that they're going to be hearing directly from the leader of the free world.
Now here's where it gets interesting. This isn't just about hurt feelings, it's about alleged defamation, damage to reputation, and what Karoline's legal team calls a full-blown smear campaign dressed up as casual table talk. Think of it like lighting a match in a candle shop and then blaming the fire on the scent. According to insiders, Leavitt's case comes down to a simple idea. If a nationally televised show keeps treating someone like a political piñata, don't be surprised when it swings back. While the hosts may see it as playful commentary, her legal team sees something far more serious, a targeted hit tucked between lifestyle chats and sponsor mentions. But here's the twist. She's not just reacting, she's preparing, with the kind of precision that suggests every clip is saved, every comment noted, and everything carefully documented. And she's not just going after the hosts, she's aiming at the entire operation. If The View were a house, this lawsuit wouldn't stop at the front door, it would name everything inside it. Financially, this is no small matter. With talk that ABC's accounting teams are feeling the pressure as legal costs climb and insurance concerns rise alongside them, while behind the scenes, the word settlement is reportedly being whispered more and more.
Many of you in the media clearly missed the art of the deal. You clearly failed to see what President Trump is doing here. You tried to say that the rest of the world would be moved closer to China when in fact we've seen the opposite effect. The entire world is calling the United States of America, not China, because they need our markets, they need our consumers, and they need this president in the Oval Office to talk to them. And that's exactly why more than 75 countries have called, because the United States of America is the best place in the world to do business. And as the president has shown great courage, as the secretary has said, in choosing to retaliate against China even higher.
Backstage, it's a completely different story. Staffers are reportedly tiptoeing through the studio like they're dodging subpoenas instead of camera cords. Morale? Imagine a glitter bomb going off during a tax audit. Joy might still be cracking jokes on air, but behind the scenes, budget cuts are hitting harder than her punchlines. Promo shoots are disappearing, guest appearances quietly vanish, and even the snack table has gone from lavish spreads to bring your own granola bar. Meanwhile, Karoline Leavitt is thriving. She's turned this legal roller coaster into a political stage play so precise and compelling, it makes Shakespeare look like improv at a dive bar. In conservative circles, she's become the icon who brought the cackling colossus to its knees with nothing but court filings and steely composure. No shouting, just devastatingly sharp legal arguments. But don't mistake this for a PR stunt. This is a financial siege. Her team isn't just seeking damages, they're building a case that claims a long, calculated campaign of on-air character sabotage disguised as daytime fun. If it sticks, the payout wouldn't just sting, it could threaten the show's entire financial foundation. And while the network keeps up a brave face, insiders say it's all smoke and mirrors. Legal teams are on high alert, PR is in full meltdown, and advertisers are already nervously eyeing the exits, clutching their marketing budgets like lifeboats.
First of all, the Democrat Party has gone woke, and now they have gone broke. They have their lowest approval ratings ever, and they are rallying around two of the most far-left leaders in their party, AOC and Jasmine Crockett. So that tells you the current state of the Democrat Party.
Apparently, some brands weren't thrilled to learn they'd been sponsoring what could soon become Exhibit A in a headline-grabbing courtroom showdown. And here's where it gets really interesting. While The View scrambles to patch the leaks, Karoline's social media is exploding. Every new court document is pure content gold. More clicks, more likes, more donations. She's gone from news subject to full-on headline machine, powered by legal drama and iced coffee. Conservative commentators are already calling her the future of media warfare, not by shouting into cameras, but by dragging them into court. While others rant on podcasts, Karoline drops court filings like precision strikes. It's courtroom conservatism, fewer hot takes, more cease and desist letters, and ratings, well, not exactly breaking records. With the lawsuit looming and backstage vibes one shade short of panic, viewers are reportedly tuning out. The show now feels less like a cultural staple and more like a PR liability. Sponsorships that once flowed freely are drying up fast. No brand wants its logo tied to a potential defamation claim. One insider even joked the next sponsor might be a law firm. Meanwhile, Karoline isn't letting up. Word is her team is combing through old footage, potentially building a string of lawsuits. If The View thought this was a one-and-done situation, they might want to start rewatching their own episodes with a lawyer.
You do know that you're walking into hostile territory, right?
Certainly do. And look, I think I'm well prepared for that. And I'm incredibly honored that President Trump has instilled confidence in me to speak on his behalf behind the White House podium. It's been an honor to have a front row seat to the greatest political comeback in history. And as you mentioned in your monologue, Sean, President Trump is putting together a brilliant cabinet of fantastic America First fighters, from Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy, who are going to cut the waste out of our federal bureaucracy, to Susie Wiles, who is going to serve as the first female chief of staff in history. Take that, Mark Cuban, to Tom Homan. No one better to secure the border than him.
The mission? A full-blown reckoning with what Karoline Leavitt calls the mean girls and makeup empire of daytime TV. And if she wins, the word canceled might get a serious upgrade. Even a fraction of what our team is demanding could leave The View as facing fewer hosts, fewer sponsors, and a lot less freedom to toss insults without someone dialing their lawyer. Here's the twist. Leavitt has perfected the double life. To the show's loyalists, she's a political boogeyman. To her own supporters, she's a folk hero, armed with legal briefs and fearless resolve. It's not just controversy, it's branding. She's not avoiding the drama, she's packaging it, promoting it, and profiting from it. And if anyone thinks this is about ego, think again. Karoline's approach is pure strategy. Every lawsuit is a campaign move, and every court win is a poll boost. She's not just building a persona, she's crafting a political resume that reads less pundit and more precision force and heels. While The View clings to PR spin and hopes for calm, Karoline is already scanning for the next storm. This isn't about one bad segment. It's about dismantling what she sees as a decades-old institution that has weaponized gossip under the flattering glow of studio lights.
I think it's insulting that you are trying to test my knowledge of economics and the decisions that this president has made. I'm now regret giving a question to the Associated Press. You're asking me for what the president's justification is for these tariffs. It's not up to you. You're not the president, Gabe.
To hire a spokesperson just so that Elon Musk doesn't put out tweets that then confuse federal workers.
Are my press briefings not good enough for you, Jack?
Karoline Leavitt didn't just file a lawsuit, she built a full-blown political brand. Courtrooms have become her stage. Depositions, her content drops. With overhead lights and legal drama, every court date feels like a new episode in the Karoline cinematic universe, complete with rage-tinged headlines, conspiracy-laced commentary, and a social media presence fueled by coffee, contempt, and constitutional fireworks. And it's working. Her followers are climbing faster than rent, engagement is through the roof, and her donation link is getting more clicks than The View's applause track. Forget traditional ads, Karoline is a viral sensation, playing both crusader and casualty, litigating her way into the hearts of every conservative viewer with Wi-Fi and an opinion. Conservative media is feasting. She's already reached icon status, a fearless voice taking on liberal media theaters armed with court filings and a highlight filter. And the scariest part for her critics, she hasn't raised her voice once. The lawsuits are doing all the talking.
If you heard that type of violent, enticing rhetoric from our side of the aisle, from Republican leaders on Capitol Hill, I think there would be a lot more outrage in this room today. It's unacceptable, the comments that have been made by these Democrat leaders, and frankly, they don't even know what they're talking about. Because President Trump was elected with a mandate from the American people to make this government more efficient. He campaigned across this country with Elon Musk, vowing that Elon was going to head up the Department of Government Efficiency, and the two of them, with a great team around them, were going to look at the receipts.
This is where the tables turn, and not the fun reality show kind of turn. Usually, it's The View turning someone into a viral roast, toasting reputations like marshmallows over a bonfire. But now, they're the ones trending, not for sass or sound bites, but for spiraling liability and a legal firestorm they can't meme their way out of. Karoline Leavitt didn't just change the game, she rewrote the rules. She's not mad at the media, she's monetizing it, packaging outrage, tagging it, and shipping it out like primetime content. What used to be a reaction is now a full business model, and the media are the product. Back at The View, the glitter is fading fast. Ratings are slipping. Applause feels nervous. Sponsors are sweating like they're on a lie detector. And the financial forecast looks grim. Even the most loyal fans are noticing the shift. The banter feels brittle. The laughs thinner. The cheer forced. Rumors of host shakeups and production pauses are growing louder. and ABC executives are quietly calculating how long they can keep propping this up before calling it a rebrand. Meanwhile, Karoline isn't slowing down. Her legal team reportedly has enough binders to open a satellite office, combing every frame for fresh firepower. If The View so much as side-eyes the wrong headline, she's ready to strike faster than anyone can say reckless defamation. Insiders say this is just phase one. Her methodical campaign is targeting the entire liberal media landscape. Court filings have become currency, visibility, and cultural leverage. If The View got scorched first, it certainly won't be the last. The slow-motion collapse isn't coming from viewer complaints or rating dips. It's coming from one sharp, determined woman who decided that if she couldn't outshout the media, she would sue into silence. To some, it's excessive. To her followers, it's revolutionary. Karoline's crusade isn't a PR stunt. It's a manual for a new kind of warfare, swapping debates for depositions and clapbacks for court dates. And The View is learning that lesson the hard way. With the show teetering, heading towards syndication limbo or permanent daytime graveyard status, the loudest talk show on television is being silenced, not by outrage or apathy, but by subpoenas and one determined woman who decided the punchline stops here. Call it karma, call it a reckoning, call it Karoline with a capital L for lawsuit. And the only question left for The View may well be, does anyone know a good bankruptcy lawyer? Preferably one with a sense of humor. Because Karoline just flipped the table, and this time, the joke is entirely on them.